Good evening, and thank you for joining me today for the 2017 year in review from the Allan reports. I'm Allan Labucan. I'm the founder of the Allan reports. It's this coming year will be the 13th year that I've been putting out the reports. I actually started it a little bit before 2005. I used to send one out to friends and family informally, and then started the official one in 2005. Been doing these year in review reports for quite some time, and I really enjoy them. They give me a good outlook that, well, first of all, they give me a sort of a report card on what's happened in the past year, and which oftentimes is a good indicator of what is going to happen in the new year. For example, one of the key trends that I follow every year, because it is such an exceptional performer, is what happens in the last couple of weeks of the year. In the late part of the year, I'm often looking for if a Santa Claus rally happens, and what that often indicates is the potential for something to have a good January. There's a theory put out by Yale Hirsch about the January effect. It is very has exceptional performance at predicting how things are going to perform in the markets for the year ahead based on what happens in January. And one of the most important parts about the January effect is what happens in the first week of January. And even before that, is there a Santa Claus rally? If you look at gold over the last few years, we had in the late 2005 and going into 2006, we had the end of a multiple year bear market, and then it bottomed and we started to see a strong rebound. In 2000 and the December of last year and the year before, we had a Santa Claus rally, followed by that confirmation in the first week of January, and then a strong January, which led to good years for both. And I'm expecting to see that again. Now, these haven't been stellar years where you see them go parabolic, but these are the first couple years in what I think is a multiple year bull market that's similar to what happened in 2001 to 2011. We had a decade-long bull market in gold that drove a lot of stocks, not just gold stocks, but a lot of mining stocks, much higher, lots of takeovers. We're still in the early stages of that, the first couple years. One of the trends that I'm looking for to start developing stronger is that I expect to see silver really start to come to the party. In the first couple of years of this bull market for gold, silver really hasn't participated much. It's much similar to what happened again in the 2001 to 2011 gold bull market. Silver took a couple of years to start really participating. And then when it did, because there wasn't a lot of silver stocks, there's even less good ones out there now. The stocks really outperformed a lot of their peers in the gold group. And that's what I think is in store for 2017. I'll talk more about that in my outlook, or sorry, 2018. I'll talk more about that in my Outlook 2018 report, which I generally put out in the first 10 days or so of the year. I like to see what happens in that first week of trading so that I can understand, you know, my January effect predictions. This year's Santa Claus rally was quite powerful in gold. We were down, I'm going to tighten in on my chart here. For gold, we were down to as low as 1248-ish in December. We ended the month at 1305. We started the year at around 1170, and we ended the year at 1305. Not a stellar year, 15% or so. Nonetheless, very good. I think that next year's going to outperform this year on gold based on this, what I'm seeing in the charts here with this Santa Claus rally being the most powerful I've seen in the last 3 years that it's happened. I'll talk about that more. I want to see the first week confirmation in January. I had my first conference in November in Vancouver, and I talked about a renaissance in gold, or exploration for gold and other commodities. And one of the points that I made is that, you know, we need the animal spirits to be out there in order to have this revolution, if you will. And there's definitely examples of that. Garibaldi, GGI, it's been much higher. It came off quite a bit, really hyped up, a lot of excitement in that stock. I still think it has a lot lower to go, but nonetheless, it sure shows that the animal spirits are alive. Nunadina just dropped some horrible news on the market. It was the last news release posted on Canada's Stock Watch. They really, I like Allan, who runs the company, but I really think it was a poor timing, especially just after financing got approved. And so they got a bunch of money at high valuations, and this news is the stock's gonna plummet off of this news. I think it's heading back to, you know, a valuation around cash, not a black. It's going to be a black eye and hurt some people, but again, it's another example that the animal spirits are out there looking for these big performers and big discoveries in resources. Novo is another example of a lot of excitement and the animal spirits. So we have the need for a revolution in exploration. We have the animal spirits. I think it's really a perfect storm for this exploration revival that I've been talking about for a little while now. I had some picks that I wanted to, some of the picks that I'm going to talk about today, I think are well positioned to, I'm not going to give out a whole big list because I've got that first week story to talk about, but some of the gold stocks I like a lot are Premier Gold. They're a sponsor. Premier Gold is a new, I think, the next middle tier Canadian gold mining company. Novo Resources is a pick. I think that they've been beaten down dramatically. They're about 50% from their highs. It's a classic sort of Fibonacci retracement. I think it's now at the end of the year, so tax loss selling's over. This thing's primed and ready to start performing better in the new year. Artemis, ARV, my sponsor over there, they're a pick in the gold space. I'm very bullish on gold, but what I'm less finding harder to find is good gold stocks to be bullish on. But those three are three of my best picks, my number 1, 2, and 3, not any particular order. But I do like gold a lot, and those are a few that I think will outperform their peers. Silver stocks are hard to find. They're so hard to find that I finally decided to start building my own. Advanced Gold is a company where I'm the CEO. We added a silver project in Mexico, the Tabasqueña mine. It's got a shares of structure with the Milagros mine, which was a very high-grade silver mine, well known in Mexico. And the vein, the epithermal veins go from Milagros all the way to the Tabasqueña head frame. So there's lots of exploration potential. It's in the heart of the most important silver camp in the world in Zacatecas, Mexico. And we're going to be doing some exploration and some other exciting stuff there. So keep an eye on Advance. AAX is the symbol. Copper, I'm bullish on, but I'm having a hard time finding good companies. Diamonds, I'm also bullish on, but I just can't find a lot of good companies these days. Wolfden, I think, is a great, it has done really well this year. It started the year at about 12 cents, finished the year at 58. That's a pretty good performance. And I think what has really got them going is their base metal stuff. And I think that they've got a focus on high grade in good camps, good potential areas. They recently got a good investment from Altius, and that helped them with the new acquisition in Maine. I like their potential for growth. They've really set the foundation, and they've got a strong foundation that I think will help them to grow much larger. The last thing, two things more I want to talk about. Lithium. I'm a huge fan of lithium. I think that it is the future. White oil is going to replace gold, black oil. It's going to become a profit center for the batteries makers, those that produce lithium. My company, Alset Minerals, where I'm CEO, has now, through staking and partnerships, has over 1 million acres of lithium prospective salars in the center of Mexico, in central Mexico, where there's roads and power everywhere, easy access, plus promising grades and promising leaching characteristics. I think that you don't go a day without seeing all kinds of news about new uses for lithium batteries, new applications, and it all spells more need for lithium. But I think that there's some, lots of expectations about some new production coming from South America in the lithium triangle. I think that some of that new production is going to be a little more challenging than people think. Lithium production through evaporation is sort of conventional wisdom, or the conventional way of producing lithium, but it has its issues. You only recover about 50% of your lithium, and it takes you about 18 months with the material out on the pads in order to recover that lithium from the brine. So that's a long time to wait for your return on your investment. These are issues that they really, because of where they are, 12,000 feet up in the Andes, they are limited. They don't, and with access, they're limited to what they can do. Their evaporation is all they can use. And I think that will, some of this projected new production that's coming on in the next 4 or 5 years, I think it will be hampered. I've seen this before in every commodity. Whenever there's a run up in the price and a ramp up in the new production, it comes from projects that are sort of recycled in the well-known areas. And that often doesn't result in, there's a reason why they weren't producing before. What I do think is the future, that is an exciting future for lithium, is in the space of unconventional projects like what we're looking at, where we're looking at soil that has, it's not like in the clay deposits where it takes a lot of pressure or a lot of temperature and chemicals to recover the lithium from the clay. In our case, we have a very unique situation in our soil that it's quite, all indications are from the previous leaching tests that it's easy to get that lithium out of there. And so as we do more work to assess the size and these questions about what I think is going to happen, which is, I think unconventional production of lithium is going to become more conventional. And we have one of those projects, we have the project with the potential to be one of those kind of projects. So I'm very bullish on lithium. I'm also very bullish on certain precious metals. Being, it's kind of unique where I am in that there's lithium potential here, as well as silver, it being the most important silver district in the world. So those are the things that are really keeping my attention this past year, and will keep my attention in the year ahead. I'm going to wrap this up today. I just wanted to sort of say, a report on how things have gone last year, and a little bit tidbits about what I'm going to put out in my next report. And I wanted to say thanks everybody for tuning into my various shows over the last year. I hope you and your family are having a splendid holiday season, and that 2018 brings you much joy and happiness. On that note, have a great end of 2018. Oh, before closing, my friend, epstatistics.com. You have to go check out that website. He runs a contest every year, and there is a phenomenal group of stock pickers in that contest. And just let me get you the, yes, it's epstatistics.com. And then you're looking for the homepage. Just go to epstatistics.com. I participate in this contest for the last couple of years, and it's an impressive group of people that are in this contest. And there's been some phenomenal performance. I mean, for example, I had an average performance of 112% on my 3 picks, and that only got me 19th place. And there was some tremendous picks throughout the year. I invite you to check out epstatistics.com, join the contest. If you don't join the contest, at least bookmark that page and keep going back and look at the various different picks. You're going to find some big winners in there, because there was some massive winners. I think the biggest performance for the year was one stock was up 1,500%. So a great group of stock pickers. It's a great stock contest. It's run by a great guy who does a lot of hard work. So go check it out at epstatistics.com. On that note, I'm going to say thank you very much again. Have a great end to 2017 and a wonderful 2018.